welcome to this live reading. And since this is a live reading, I had to go see about what that was, that noise. It was some birds out. I have one of those suet cake things. So, anyway, I think that's what was making the noise, right? I'm just picking up the cards from the last reading, okay? So we can reset, and I will likely not use the same cards from the last reading. So for those of you that don't follow the channel, the last reading was the love reading set for the full moon, parts 1 through 4, okay? And this is just going to be like, I think, a general full moon. Valentine's is yet like at the end of the week, so unless something comes up, it's just kind of maybe a different full moon, kind of, because we have full moon and Valentine's Day, and we just had the Super Bowl, so kind of, and the full moon, talk about a roller coaster of emotions, right? Hopefully your emotions are not due to, gambling that went awry, right? You know what I mean? Let's see. But, everything in life is a risk, right? But a calculated risk, the same as when you watch readings, as you are welcome to make a donation to the channel at any time, where you can find this in the description box or the main page, my Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo, or you can simply like the video or consider subscribing to the channel, okay? I think I'm going to go ahead and do the conversation deck today because I haven't used that deck in a while. And then I think I'll use the Ethereal Visions deck as well, another deck I have not used in a while. So I am going to move these other ones off to the side. Also, the full moon is a good time to cleanse your crystals, right? So if you're doing any, spring cleaning around this time, do that as well, right? So we're going to go ahead and do the conversation deck. Has messages like, are you dating anyone, right? So if you're not, come Valentine's, maybe you will be, right? You never know. What shoes are you wearing? Dale Daniel says, Dale, since I am inside my humble abode, I am wearing my indoor slippers, if you must know. But I will say, yeah, I think they're the Mini Tonka brand. And they fit my feet quite nicely. So, I'm not going to say I've always had luck with them, but hello, new to the channel. What does your feet look like with wearing your slippers? Like what most other folks' feet look like inside the slippers, I guess. So, but if you are new, please do like the video or subscribe, especially if you are in the chat today. And please do be kind to each other in the chat. I try to monitor the chat, but there are settings on there as well. So if anybody gets a little too rowdy, out of control, your message will be blocked. And you may end up getting, kicked out of the chat as well. So, use your own discernment, just the same as with readings, okay? Hello, Tishar. Look at all them curls. Yes, I got some curls in my hair today. Yeah. Some days my hair is more curly than others. Mine is like more of a wave where I can straighten my hair or I can like curl it up. So I'm kind of one of those lucky in betweens. But it took me a while to figure out what to do with my hair. They have so many more products these days than when I was growing up. Like when I was growing up, it was just a lot of frizz, a lot of crying because you spend all that time straightening your hair out, and then you step outside in humidity and it's like, it's back. All right, so let's get started with the messages again. Remember, we have a full moon coming up. Also, planetary alignment. It was looking really cool last night, you guys. If it happened to be clear where you were. And if not, you can't see it, don't worry. So, no te preocupes. First message. Maybe you did lose some money on the game. Here's your signal. Don't worry about it this time. Maybe don't take such a risk gambling next time, right? Like, you know what I mean? Oh, Hail Marys going all over the place, right? That's what they were doing last night on the field. I have to say, I wanted to make sure to say before I forget, I really enjoyed the Doritos commercial where the guy was like working at his desk, you know, on something, and then all of a sudden the light comes in trying to take his Doritos, and then he's like pulling against the bag, and then anyway, so hopefully you guys saw that pop up. So somebody may be wanting to pop up and see you. Also, perhaps this weekend, if you're out celebrating somehow, you might pop up on some folks. I was talking to one of my relatives and they were like, oh yeah, I was at the store and I just saw everybody. You know what I mean? Just kind of one of those things where people just keep popping up, popping up, popping up, and there's nothing you can do about it. You just gotta kind of go with the flow. And it could even be like one of those things where you're like on a time crunch. You know, literally don't worry about it, don't sweat it. You know, enjoy those little moments, right? Who knows when the next time you're gonna have one of those, right? Okay. Message held for review. Well, let's see. I can't do anything about that, folks. You know, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Troll City, right? You are so attractive. La 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 to me. This person thinks you're attractive. Maybe that's why they want to pop up on you. So, I'm not getting like in a weird stalkery way though, more like in a friendly hello way. Okay. So if you're worried about that, you're like, no, I don't need my ex popping up on me. Don't worry about that. That's not the energy. Okay. This is more just kind of like maybe somebody that's curious about you. Okay. Again, these cards are just flying. Yeah. Again, they see you as very attractive because you may be a star seed, and it says here, I'm sure your inbox is full. So you may have options in love, options in spending time with people, right? People may want to get to know you as well because they feel like there's something special about you, or it's like they can't put their finger on it and they just want to get to know more about you. Okay, let's do one more. Kind of interesting for a general today. Kind of turning into a little Valentine's-y a little bit. I don't know what you want from me. So when this person does pop up on you, collective, you may be unsure as to why. So you might need to let them explain it. Okay. So, okay. They also might be somebody that uses their hands to talk a lot. Okay. I am going to get into the tarot on this. Yeah, that's confirmation. So inquiring minds want to know, right? Do they still make the Enquirer? I think they do, right? The National Enquirer that you see at the grocery store. All right, so let's see what else we need to know about this situation. So the first message was, do not worry. What else do we need to know? The Three of Pentacles. Okay. You know, the day after the Super Bowl is a day of like kind of a slow work day. You know, a lot of people that maybe were out the night before late where they wouldn't typically be on a Sunday versus, you know, Monday in the office. This don't worry thing, this has to do with if you have been challenged at completing projects and tasks that take more than one person, right? Like it's not just a one man shop. You know what I mean? Even Bob Dylan eventually had the band behind him, right? You know, so even though he's a solo artist, the band came to pass because of the work that he needed to do. Okay. So, for whoever this is, don't worry. The correct folks are going to come into your zone. Okay. And I also feel like they're going to be, I'll say fair business partners, honest business partners, whereas maybe you may have had folks in the past that were not so honest. Okay. The King of Pentacles. Look at you, collective. Is this the person that wants to pop up on you, or are you this King of Pentacles wanting to pop up on somebody and express yourself? So you may be a Taurus, Virgo, or a Capricorn. Okay. So again, tell us more about this. You are so attractive to me. Okay. What do we need to know? Ooh, Aquarius, the star. So whoever you are, collective, or if you are after this person, it's because you view this person as the star. Like, or like they're your kind of, you know, like our solar system has the sun. Well, to you, this person is your solar. You know what I mean? It's like you want to revolve around this person because they're kind of giving you that glow. Okay. And so, collective, if this is you, also, you could be definitely kind of driving this person wild at the moment. Okay. It's also the tail end of Aquarian season. So, yeah, I guess work it if you got it, right? Like, why not? Now's the time, right? Snooze, you lose, right? Anyway. So, collective, for some of you, especially if you're single, coming up upon, you know, as many call it a Hallmark holiday, you can call it that if you wish, but, you know, just a celebratory time for people, um, you know, tap on into it and make it fun for yourself, you know. Maybe that's the time when you gift yourself a manicure or going to get a massage, right? And you know that's a unisex thing as well, male or female. So Four of Swords here, yeah, you might be leading into a season more of rest as we head into the Piscean season, okay? Where Aquarius might be where like you've broken free, okay? And you have these opportunities, but you're going to be choosy, like choosy moms choose Jeff, okay? It's like, yeah, I could do, you know, every single meeting today, but I don't have time for that. So you have to pick and choose. You know, it's just that's just the way of the world, right? You cannot be everywhere at every time. And no, I am not going to be cloned. No, thank you. I'm not interested, right? I am just not. And that's part of where you're going to get these helpers, you know, your folks that you're going to be able to delegate tasks to, but you're going to be able to delegate tasks that where these folks have the needed expertise and often the more advanced expertise collective than you have, right? Maybe yours is in a different area. say maybe you're a lawyer, but one of your friends is an accountant. So you're like, hey, can you look over my books for me? Or maybe I'm starting to get enough clients and I need a quarterly accountant versus just an end of the year type of deal, you know, something of that nature. Okay. That's what I'm getting. Monday, right? TikTok. Time waits for no one. Nobody. Nobody, 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 nobody. And that is the truth. Ace of Swords. Yeah. So if you felt this calling over your life to make some type of difference, be it in your community, be it in your workplace, in your home, you know, and maybe it's just one of those things where, yeah, maybe like let's use the accountant example. You know, maybe you're in a family of accountants, right? But maybe your level of expertise in that is nil, and you're, you know, doing something totally different, but it's still giving you that purpose, right? So I feel like that's calling out to you now to act upon those things, right? Just because your gifting doesn't look like somebody else's gifting doesn't mean it's unimportant, okay? And then the fact is, some people will never have that gifting because they choose to act against their better interests, okay? And those that choose to pay attention, right, to that gifting are more like the star seed type, right? Instead of listening to the negative messages about yourself, you're listening to the positive messages about yourself, seeding those good ideas and hopes and dreams, okay? So when you wish upon a star, plant that little seed every night and say, what am I going to dream about for the next day, okay? Maybe it's just to have a better day than the day that I had today, right? I mean, there's a lot of Kansas City fans out there yesterday that did not have the best. I mean, I was watching the game. I think everybody was shocked. Sure. Right. Because yeah, and you always have this expectation of how things are going to go. Right. But you know, that becomes a learning experience for us. Right. So, you know, take those things, bury it for the night, and then wake up and say, yeah, while I dream peacefully tonight, something magical is going to happen tomorrow. Okay? And that is the truth. Okay? Because, you know, 24 hours, we'll get the sun again. You know what I'm saying? It always comes back around. Always comes back around. All right. So get out there and look at that planetary alignment as well, where we have Mars, Venus, Jupiter, Mercury, I believe, has joined by now, and Uranus, Saturn, and Neptune are all visible, I believe, through telescope. Okay, but you can see Mars, Venus, and Jupiter in alignment with the moon with the naked eye. Mars is more of the red, right? And Venus, oh my God, it was so bright last night. It was so crazy. I was just like, oh my God. I think it is, in my lifetime, I think it was one of the brightest times I've ever seen Venus. And I happened to be in a very good place for viewing because there wasn't a lot of, you know, like bright city lights, you know, is more rural area, park-like setting, I guess I want to say. So even if you do live in, you know, a city or something, if you get to a park, usually those don't have as many bright lights where you can look up and you'll be able to see without some of the light pollution, if you will. Okay. So, Queen of Pentacles may be saying to this King of Pentacles, I don't know what you want from me, or vice versa. So this is really interesting to me, where I feel like, collective, for some of you, this is your story, that you are in some kind of partnership with this King or Queen of Pentacles, and it's like you're not on the same communication level right now, even though you're both showing up in this reading as like matching energy, right? So there could be another interest here with this star energy, all right? But there may be something you need to know about the situation where you're going to have some communication here with this Ace of Swords. This truth is going to come out and you're going to see perhaps maybe how either this King or Queen of Pentacles actually feels. King and Queen of Pentacles are not exactly known for expressing their emotions, right? They're not the cups, right? And they're not the swords either, right? They're more like, the bill paid? Okay, that's all I want to talk to you today. You know, because, right? Gotta keep the lights out. Gotta keep the lights out. Okay, so in some instances, collective, this could be like a strained working relationship in a way. Okay, it's kind of what I'm getting. Kind of what I'm getting. All right, it's like you guys haven't hit your groove yet. So this could also be like a new partnership as well. All right, if you're thinking of it that way. Okay. Yeah, look at that night. And here's this Knight of Cups like wanting to come out, right? And be like, hey, I'm about the love. I'm about the Valentimes. Hit me in on this. Okay. And whereas a lot of this other stuff is more kind of, I feel like collective, you might be putting your hand up to be like, I'm about the business right now. You know what I mean? This love stuff is great, but you know, you might be playing the Destiny's Child. Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bills? You know, kind of this thing where it's like, are you going to be an addition or are you going to be a drain? Right? Because we left the drain, right? And all the stuff that's getting flushed out with the full moon is like, we're not adding to it at that time. No, we're already leaving it. We're pushing it out. You know, we got a head step on our spring cleaning over here. Okay, you know, we're not backing it right. Okay. I'm gonna get some clarification for you guys with the Modern Witch deck. This is a mini size version, FYI. This is one that was gifted to me, so I don't know exactly where they got it. But they also make a fuller size as well. Like this is a regular size deck card, whereas this is more of a mini. But if you're just starting out or just want something to kind of test your skills with, it's a good deck to start out with, and I think fairly affordable as well. I should really put the links and like put affiliate link. I mean, there's always something to do when you're self-employed, right? So, collective, that might be something that you're looking into as well this year or this season, looking more into self-employment opportunities, marketing, sales opportunities, okay, for yourself. Again, I feel like you're going to get the right team of people around you making this happen, all right? I'm also getting that Who Could It Be Now song. Ace of Cups. So I feel like collective, you might be asking the question, okay, great, but yeah, where are they? Who are they? You know, like, what do you want me to do about it, right? And so that's where the no te preocupes comes in, right? Don't worry, it will happen. It will come. Okay. And maybe this is what you've like really been like, where's that at? For some of y'all, maybe this is the Valentine's read that you need. So yeah. Don't worry, fam, because the real 10 of Cups, right? Well, the real 10 of Cups, please stand up. Right. The right person to work with you, right? To be able to save for a rainy day, right? To not have to be scrambling, right? We don't need that. We don't know. No. No. What else we got for this collective here? Four of Pentacles. Okay. I feel like collective, whoever wants to pop up on you, you value your privacy. You know, kind of why you're like holding on to that pentacle. So some of you, you know, you could be like, yeah, that's great. This person's a 10 of Pentacles, but I'm paying my own way over here. I gotta watch my money. I'm not giving out money to everybody. Like, I don't even know what this person wants from me. You know what I mean? Because some of them, they look good, but then they ain't, you know, they ain't got nothing in the pocketbook, right? You're like, oh, that whole outfit's stolen? Even your face? And the Empress is gonna know. She's gonna smell it. She's gonna sniff them out. Collective, I really feel like there's definitely some feminines that are going to be watching this reading that identify with this right here. So I do feel like somebody does see you as attractive. Some of you may be in a better position than you thought you were. Okay. So, you know, kind of going from that Four of Pentacles to this Empress energy. Just because around you, you also have a lot of positivity here. I think part of what this is showing you that with this Three of Pentacles, this where you're at right now, where you might be like, you know, I'm working, but I don't feel that successful, right? Or I'm working, but I don't feel that abundant. Or I'm whatever it is. So I feel like that will be the next step where you're going to not have to feel like you have to hold on so tight, right? That you're going to be able to let loose and invest a little bit. And of course, you're going to be investing with the right people again. So it's going to be more like, oh, wow, this is easy now, right? Because you're not having to do everything yourself, right? And you're like, yeah, I'm an Empress. I know how to dig in because I got here, right? I understand the ins and outs. And if you're the one managing your kingdom, you better. Or else it ain't going to be your kingdom for long. You know? There's a lot more to royal blood than laying around and eating a bunch of grapes. That's all I gotta say. Time's wasting. Seven of Swords. Yeah. Somebody thought they were going to sneak in here. So this could be part of this, you know, your inbox being full. Like, yeah, it's full, but what's the quality? What's the quality factor there? Yeah, you got options. What are those options up to? And you're like, yeah, maybe you're just taking a rest of all that. The gamemanship or the mind games or whatever it's scam. Let's face it, scam. Whatever scam these people are trying to pull, you're taking a break from it big time. And you're tired of it. You're tired of all of it and all of them and the harassment and the bullying. Yeah, the lies. You're tired of all of it and them. Yep, moving into balanced land. That is the truth. So you're going to be able to balance the truth on the point of this sword, right? It's like you're going to know. For some of you, that could be following your intuition, right? Because just because it looks good on the outside, right, doesn't mean it's not rotten on the inside, right? You know, so cutting into the fruit is not a bad idea, right? It looks okay on the outside, but what's on the inside? You know, it's like somebody wants to hand it to you and be like, oh, look at how great it is. Da, 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 da. And then you find out the truth and you're like, what? And then it's like, oh yeah, they tried to do me like that. Huh? And this is a silly example, but this was like an April Fool's thing that somebody did on one of their relatives. They gave them it was like they thought it was ice cream and then it wasn't. And but anyway, you know, if you know, guy's kind of a stinker. He kind of probably deserved it. It wasn't like he eaten anything poisonous or anything. But yeah. 8 of Cups. Yeah, so this, I don't know what you want from me. Your inbox may be full, but you may be like, I don't even know what these people want. I don't even know what to say. You know what I mean? You know, and you know, I'll know that have tried the online dating thing, how it is these days, like what people will say out there. You know what I mean? It's like, is that all you do? You know what I mean? It's like nobody goes out to eat no more. Nobody, you know what I mean? Just like hangs out in a public space for a couple hours and chills like on a date with somebody. It's all this nasty stuff on these messages that half of them, you know, are all, you know, half of them are married or in relationships anyway, right? That's why they never meet you. That's why they never meet you. So yeah, collective, you might be like, yeah, I'm good on that. I'll be, you know, some of you might instead of you know, investing into this relationship thing, right? Maybe you're investing in yourself, right? You're like, I'm gonna spend that on myself now that I'm here, now that I can, you know, now that I can do that, right? Whereas maybe before you might have been like, I don't know if I can do that because maybe you were what being drained by the wrong folks. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. And I'm talking about able bodied folks that won't lift a finger. Will not lift a finger, will not go work. I got it so rough. I wonder what their grandmothers would say about them today. I ain't trying to get in trouble in this reading, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Some of these little angels out here never just figured the devil out of them. You know what I mean? So they're still walking around thinking they're angels 24/7. And we all know in the real world, that ain't quite right, is it? Okay. It's kind of like at the end of that movie, Psycho, when he's sitting there, all frozen. I wouldn't hurt a fly. I'm not even going to move a muscle because I won't hurt it. It's like, yeah, that's kind of psychotic, isn't it? Well, that's why he's in there. Because he's acting like a weirdo. Right? A normal human be like, get that thing out of here. Right? Unless it's the only friend he had, right? Like those jail movies where they make the friends with the mice and what was that, Birdman at Alcatraz, you know, that kind of stuff. I've actually toured through Alcatraz, believe it or not. And it was very interesting when I went out there. And I'll tell you this, I found it very interesting because the folks that worked out there in Alcatraz often lived on the island, like basically alongside, you know, America's Worst, right? Like that was the worst. Capone went out to Alcatraz. You know what I mean? Like the worst of the worst was out there, right? Um, so again, collective, this overall, yeah, I feel like maybe somebody's trying to get in your inbox and they're not getting through, and that might be causing them some worry. I don't feel like you're worried. I don't feel like you're worried. That's not your energy right now. Coming up 34 minutes. I am get a few more messages for you guys, and I gotta cut out of here. I wasn't even typically going to do a message today. Usually Mondays and Tuesdays I reserve for regular business tasks and checking emails and you know all those sorts of things. Kind of like my office hours, if you will. La-di-da-di, let's have a party. We don't cause trouble or bother nobody. Who knows that one? Somebody does. Somebody does out there. Is that Lionel Richie? She's once, twice, 3 times a lady, and I love you. I feel like somebody wants to, like, that's like they think of you when they hear that song, or when it's like they're your little, like if you were in a movie, right? And you're walking in the door and this person's like sitting there in the room or standing there in the room with their glass in their hand or whatever, you walk into the party. That's what they're like hearing when you walk across the room, like, oh yeah, right? So again, that is this Empress, this star energy, this person that finds you very attractive. Okay. All right, let's get some closing messages for the reading. Thank you, everybody that has behaved today in the chat and also who has liked the video. Please do, again, take the time to like the video. You can like the video and not be a subscriber, but it would definitely help the channel if you were a subscriber. So, the Maria, creating heaven on earth. It is happening. Also, you guys, if you are a subscriber, then you would be privy to early message releases. Okay. So yeah, this heaven on hearth. Or, well, there's a hearth here, right? In front of a fireplace. Whatever this is, it's like it's really happening, right? You could be like, oh, I can't believe this is ever going to happen, or like the reading, my love readings I had the other day, divine timing came up. So for a lot of you collective, you may have been like, really? Like this is going to happen like in my lifetime? Some of you could be like, you know what? I don't really want to listen to another tarot reading saying so-and-so is going to contact me, because they have not. Right? But here it's like, you're not worried about so-and-so anymore. You're not worried about people that are so-so in your life. You're worried about what you're going after, and the right person is going to meet you there. So again, no te preocupes. Don't worry so much either what they look like. This person is going to be a match for you. They're going to be attractive to you. If you're worried about like not being attracted to this person for some reason, because maybe, a lot of times, somebody that we end up with is not like our usual type, and that's for good reason, because the usual type sucks, right? Some people don't have a type though. I mean, if you look at some of my past boyfriends, like height difference, weight difference, but what mattered to me was being able to get along, like intellect. I'm more of a what they would call a sapiosexual. Just wanted to come out in reverse. Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? Okay, so for some of you, you might need to release some funds and invest into whatever that is for you. Maybe that's going back to school. Maybe that, like I said, taking your business from, maybe only paying an accountant once a year to needing to pay an accountant 4 times a year to take it to the level that you need it to be at, right? Something of that nature, okay? And where that soul calling is happening, that where you do that investment, you're going to feel good about it. You know what I mean? Even if you're somebody who doesn't like to like give up money, because the 4 of Pentacles is kind of the miserly energy. Okay. Deep replenishment, retreat, rest, be held. Yes. So nourishing yourself, okay, with the star energy here is going to help you step into this Empress role, okay? And again, that is going to make you attractive to the right person, okay? I don't care if so and so who winked at you was really cute or really hot or had the whatever jeans on today, right? Okay. You know what I mean? Like a lot of those things are fun. And again, on the right person, it all works together. But, you know, when you just hold those things up singularly, sometimes it's like, oh, like, is that all they you know, it might have been like what attracts you to somebody, but is it what keeps you? You know? So, moving on. Y'all ever see that one? Never mind. Yeah, your inbox might be full because you're not answering fools. Mini Takan, longing for home belonging, the original light workers. Yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of this thing where it's like, yeah, you show up in your nice dress, yeah, show up in your Halston dress and dun, 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 right, big shot, woo, okay, and it's like, yeah, they can show up looking fine, but are they doing it to blow your mind and steal your pentacles in the process? Yeah, those little witches and warlocks can skittily do out of town for all you care, right? And so it's kind of like you're just not envisioning those type of people anymore, and that's why it may feel lonely, where you might not have that sense of home at the moment. Okay, that doesn't mean it's not coming, all right, because again, you had that 10 of cups earlier and the 3 of pentacles, okay. And again, like with the 4 of pentacles, it's like I've been working, but it's like I'm not seeing it yet. It's, you know, again, like with the full moon, you gotta clear stuff out before the new can accumulate again. All right. I use the analogy of a woman getting her period, right? And then like the shedding of the uterine lining, and then the blood comes out. Okay. Well, then once the blood is out, then it has to build back up again before it can come out again, right? So always going like this and like this and like this and like this and like this. And that's kind of how life is, right? And we get in these cycles, and sometimes they're karmic cycles, and then we hit the limit, right? And that's when we have to put the, yeah, like I was up to here with it. You ever hear that? Okay. Now you got that boundary. That's called a boundary. When you say, I'm up to here. Therapists call that having boundaries. You know, where it's like so and so is asking you for another $50, and you're like, I'm up to here with them asking me for money. And maybe it's one of those things where you're like, look, I agreed that maybe I could help you out, but like it's only going to be like on this frequency from here on out, or if I feel like it, you know, because some people will never choose to help themselves, right? They're the ones sitting here saying, and just never, ever wanting to wipe their own ass. It just, even though they have 10 fingers and 10 toes, right? What's that, Dennis Leary? I'm an asshole, yo. Right? But that's kind of like the fun assholes, you know what I mean? Like, not these other assholes. Yeah, 2 sides of every coin. It really is. It's amazing. It's amazing. And, you know, choosing to look to the bright side of life, right? It's going to get you a lot further than, you know, always on the complaint train, right? Okay. I'm not saying you don't need to problem solve, but there needs to be an objective, right? What is that objective? Okay. In the corporate world, we used to call that the blue dot. What's the blue dot? Y'all. If you were there, you know. I mean, we have to come up with some language in order to, you know, but sometimes it's the pretense, I guess, is what I want to say. It's a little thick. Little thick. Okay. Again, like I said the other day, sometimes it's not the how that we understand, but then once we figure out the why, right? And you know, at times sometimes a lot of people come up with this is it. There's a something I studied when I was doing my master's degree. It's called open book management, where if you tell people, you know, the why or what the benefit is going to be of a strategy, you know, the how, people are going to be more apt to go along with it versus that authoritarian, that, you know, king, queen of pentacles, where's money? That's all I want to know. I don't want to hear any excuses. I don't want to hear blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's a little other things that need to happen, right? Okay. Had to be a big shot, didn't ya? Where are you being called to journey to, Imrama? Yeah, definitely something calm. I feel like also something that's in touch with your emotions with this water imagery that's coming through here. So you may be a star seed that has a lot of water in your chart. Okay. So far, really, in this reading, not much fire signs have come through, but definitely some the cups, the earth, and the swords. So that may be in particular for you, collective. All right. That doesn't mean you can't be born under the star sign of a fire sign, but in your chart, you might find some other differences. And as well, please do check out both your systems, both Western and Vedic, because they do differ. Okay. Priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? Okay, you also got the Empress earlier, and you have this Queen of Pentacles leading to where? It's like, I feel like for some of you, this full moon is going to be like the final straw towards your salvation, your hope of, you know, getting X accomplished, right? You're like, look, you're going to have to make your own grilled cheese from here on out because now I'm going to yoga at 6:30 and nobody's going to be able to contact me. And I'm not going to be back until 7:45. So you're just going to have to figure it out until then. So part of that leading is showing how you can take care of yourself and passing that knowledge on to others, not just doing for them, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where at the certain point you might be like, look, I've done everything for you. What else the F do you want from me? Right? You could be telling somebody that right now. It's like, haven't you been on tour? Don't you know how to make a grilled cheese? Figure it out. Had to be a big shot, didn't ya? Collective, I'm also getting the message too for some of you. If you are changing jobs, you might get into a job that's a little bit more reciprocal, like where you might be getting a little bit more money for your time, or else they're going to compensate you, you know, appropriately. Okay. Yes. Seeding the light. Exactly. Star seed. What are you doing? Planting a seed to have that star literally shining above you, above your bright little head, right? It's almost as if there's a little star personally for you out there in that sky, and it's like saying, hey, you down here on Earth, I got a mission for you. Are you willing to accept it? Are you going to choose to accept it? So you can plant that little seed, right? Every time before you go to bed and say, maybe I can make that happen. Starting tomorrow, right? Who hasn't started their New Year's resolution yet and we're already in the middle of February? Come on, who's there? Who's there, right? Sometimes it happens, right? Be like, I'm starting with the fiscal new year. You guys, sometimes I have too much fun doing these. Anyway, thanks for joining. Thanks for humoring me. I do appreciate it. I think I am going to leave it here because we are coming up on an hour. So for those of you in the chat today, thanks for joining. Everybody else, I hope you enjoy the replay. And until next time, please do manifest wisely. Bye-bye.